At the end of this video, I'm going to show you how to put your money where your mouth is. At the moment, we see huge enterprise adoption of artificial intelligence. I have a lot to say about that, but before then, let's revisit the AI value chain because it tells a lot of stories on how you can map about your investment strategies. The AI value chain is the stack of inter- and interdependent entities that work under the hood for us to have access to the amount of intelligence we have access to right now. It all begins with the core hardware, which is the brain, the speed, and the intelligence of the current digital economy. It's not just hardware, but the single most important and most independent layer of the AI value chain. At this time, it is made up of the AI chips, the specialized processors, and of course, memory. Let's talk about GPUs here. GPU is the graphics processing unit, and of course, is the most important tool of hardware in the AI value chain. The focus had been on NVIDIA, but when you look at GPUs, you have to think beyond NVIDIA. We have brands like ARM that's focused on intellectual property and architecture of GPUs. We also have Broadcom, we have AMD, we have Intel working on a bit of it, we have TSMC, and we have ASML. But beyond GPUs, the hyperscalers also have some AI accelerators and their own processing unit. Google have what they call TPUs. And of course, at the moment, AWS have what they call Trainium, which is an AI accelerator. They also have Inertia, which is also an AI accelerator. And they also have Graviton CPU. And also Azure also have Azure Maya. Next in line is the cloud infrastructure, which is of course very much dependent on the core hardware. And it is made up of the training infrastructure, the inference infrastructure, and the AI supercomputers. This is one of the most important layer of the AI value chain. And like you know, it is made up of AWS, Azure, GCP, IBM Cloud, and Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, etc. On top of the cloud infrastructure are the AI model, which is made up of the foundation model, like the GPT models, the Anthropic Claude, the Google's Gemini, and the rest of them. And we have the specialized models, and we have the fine-tuned model. This is one of the most important layer of the value chain where we begin to have direct access to the intelligence within ourselves for training, for inference, and for enterprise applications. On top of the AI models, what we now have are the vertical AI applications, which is of course are built to solve business problem on top of each of these AI value chain. We have enterprise applications, we have some industry tools, and we have specialized APIs that we build on top of this. For example, you can build a coding assistant on top of Claude, you can build a marketing assistant on top of ChatGPT, etc. This is where they're coming, and they're also very much important, especially for business and enterprise use cases. And this is the most important part of the AI value chain that I'm going to be talking about sooner or later. On top of that are the consumer AI application that we have today, which are made up of the mobile apps, the web interface, and digital services. For example, the customer experience app that you see today are a typical example of those consumer AI applications, and your day-to-day ChatGPT, Claude, Grok, Perplexity, etc. These are typical example of the consumer AI application. On top of that, this is the consumer AI hardware bit, which is of course the most important one for me. I care much about this and I love what is going to happen with this. OpenAI is working a lot of devices around the consumer hardware, and you just have to wait for it. Some are going to be smart devices, some are going to be some attachments to your computer devices, and some are going to be some custom hardware, as the case may be. Look out for that. In all of this, I see a bottom-up dependency, which is of course the layers at the top depend on the layers at the bottom, and the most vertical integration a company gets, the more power they have in the value chain. And of course, the more layers a company occupy, the more power they're going to have in the value chain. And of course, this custom hardware are going to be some of the most important product and tools of the future. That being said, this is just a bit of the AI value chain. We're going to explain a good number of them, especially on the enterprise side later, because that is taking shape already.